Hey, 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 all my crafty friends. I am coming to you with day 7 of my October daily. We're moving right along. I thought at one point we were going to be all caught up and like not have days to do, and then I fell right back behind again. So we should be pretty caught up this week, though, as long as I can keep up with the ideas. I think I get a little bogged down on ideas and how I want the pages to come together and all that kind of stuff. So day 8, though, is actually on day 8. So some days they're just stories, and some days they're actual things that happened. And this one is an actual story that happened on this day. It was a Saturday morning. And I'm sorry, this was a Sunday morning. Oh, no. And I put Saturday in my book. I thought it was a Saturday. Anyways, Sunday morning that we didn't have to run and go to any sporting event. We didn't have anything to do that morning. So I actually got to sit in bed with a hot cup of coffee, because lately it's been all iced coffees because it's warm out. Plus I love iced coffees. So this was one of my first hot cup of coffees in quite some time. And with one of my new mugs. And, my kids and husband say that I don't need one more mug, but this one was so cute, guys. I can't remember where I got it from. Maybe Target? I can't remember. No, I think this was Walmart, actually. It actually, like, on the inside says mummy juice. It's so cute. Anyways, I didn't have a mummy one. I have a ghost one and a mummy one. I didn't have a mummy one, so. All right, so what I wanted, you can see I kind of had done some work pre-hand. I didn't love it. But I pulled out the Cozy stamp set from the Cozy Kit from Ellie Edwards. Also, this December one from Studio Calico. I think. Oh, and the Morning Kit from Ellie Edwards. Also, because this was just a very cozy weekend morning, and I loved it. So we don't get many of those around here. So I was trying to figure out how to get those stamps to work together, if I could make a pattern out of them down the side. And the two of them weren't quite working together. Cozy on the cozy one and weekend mornings on the other one weren't going to fit together. And so I kind of just dropped it all and just went with the word cozy. I am stamping that in, it's ripe persimmon, I think. It's a new color for me. It was a pretty close orange to that transparent paper, which is out of my stash, guys. I'm using that stash that I have. I'm so excited. I've actually used quite a few pieces out of it, so I'm quite happy. I'm using a stamp set that I've never used. I've never used this Cozy stamp set. I never had used the Morning stamp set either. So if I've been using stamp sets from Ellie Edwards, I usually use the digital. And I really need to sit down and plan out some spreads that actually use my stamp sets. I don't get them anymore, though I miss them, but it's so hard for me to plan spreads around a stamp, and then I want it bigger or smaller or something along those lines. So anyways, I need to get better at that. So I am putting Cozy all the way down that side in pumice stone and this ripened persimmon, I think is how you pronounce it, Oxide inks. There we go. And that makes the orange pop a little bit, but not so much. My picture is just a 3x4 mounted on white, mounted on that orange paper. Like I said, I'm just trying to use those scraps in my stash. So I must have used this somewhere else in another October daily, but I still had plenty of it. So, all right. So the next part is also what I did not know what I wanted to do with this title. I pulled out some alpha stickers from Elle Studio that are like the candy corn ones. Then I thought that was too busy. Guys, I spent a lot of times trying to figure out how to put this little layout together, and I don't know why I let it get to me. It's not one of my favorite, but we're not going to love all of our spreads. I end up using my handwriting, and I know that's a bad idea. I don't love my handwriting. But anyways, we used my Featurecraft ink blobs, I think, or something like that they're called. Of course, Featurecraft is no longer around, so that stamp is hard to find. But close to my heart has a couple of ink blob stamp sets that you can find that are pretty comparable. And we're going to use Stanley. Of course, I am going to try and stick to using Stanley throughout this. Just because it will bring a little bit of, consistency, continuity throughout my album. 2, it will take a decision away. I was watching Heba's, October Daily the other day, and I don't know why I keep on getting away from it, but like every year she uses the same stamp for the number, and it takes one decision away from what you have to figure out, type thing. Like it just makes one less decision of the day. So I think for sure I am going to stick to the Stanley stamp for a lot of my headers. If it doesn't fit that day, it doesn't fit, but for the most part, I'm going to try and stick to that. That way, like I said, there's a little bit of consistency. There we go. That's this word, not continuity, consistency throughout my album. But regardless, this stamp set is like the best stamp set ever. All right, so I was putting that down. I did not love how it kept on going down. I wanted it tilted, but then not tilted, and then I went to go tilt it and loved it, and then I was like, oh wait, the holes are going to go through that, or it was going to be too close to the holes, because I am on the back side of one of these. So one thing I figured out is these circles are just a little bit too big for travel or notebook size, unless, for like an embellishment, I guess I should say. I mean, you can make them work, of course, but just a little bit too big. See me I'm pulling out everything, and I just could not make decisions today, guys. So maybe it was because I was like at a time crunch, and I ended up shutting off my camera at one point and being like, okay, like let's just work through this. I did choose this phrase sticker because it says "Mommy knows best," and yeah, we all need some rest and relaxation at some points. I also took this photo into Photoshop a little bit because, yes, my camera blurred out the background a little bit. That's my closet in the background, unfortunately. That's what we stare at. And I still need to get like a curtain rod that goes across it because we took the doors off because they just take up too much space. And so you see all our clothes, but I took that into Photoshop and Gaussian blurred that even more. I was trying to record that for you guys. Unfortunately, my screen recorder is not working. It doesn't want to work, and I wasn't wanting to mess with it, so that didn't work. Otherwise, a little asterisk from L Studio. Now I am looking for some label stamps because I wanted that exact color. I wanted that orange. So how you do that is you stamp it out. Use your stamps that you purchased, right? Use your stamps. So these ones are from L Studios. They're just the like daily labels, I think that's what it is. So I'm gonna fussy cut that. I do have the dies for these, but I'm not pulling out a die for one label, guys. I was like, oh shoot, I should actually also stamp what I want in the middle. So these are the daily tabs that actually go in these things. And I put loved this day because this was just a very relaxing Sunday that we literally never get around here. We always have sports, and it was like the first weekend that it was completely nasty on top of it, and to not have baseball and not have football, it was like a miracle that we didn't have to go out into that nasty weather. So before we could get used to it, like eventually, we're Michigan people, we'll be used to this weather. But the first weekend is like, no, you want to cuddle up inside. Especially since the weekend before this was like 86 degrees. So Michigan has all of a sudden decided it wants like fall and been raining every single day. So, all right, well, here's where I feel like I go wrong on the spread. And then how I looked at it, like my writing was all going down backwards or like downhill. Oh, I do one more label circus. I was like, oh, I forgot my number. So I'm going to pull out the other label set that I have from L Studio. It has a circle in it. Excuse me. And I also stamped that in that orange to keep it consistent. There's that word again. I'm dying to use these numbers, guys, and get rid of these numbers, but they just are too big for what I keep on wanting to use them for. Like, eventually I'm going to have to, like, plan my spread around those numbers so that I can get them gone. But, you know, we'll always be able to use numbers, so they'll be in there. Hey, there we go. One thing I do need to look for in my stash is a hole punch that punches out this size. I feel like my hole punches go from small to too big. And like, I feel like I use this size a ton, and that I just never have a hole punch. So I'm constantly having to fussy cut these out, which obviously a circle is not that serious. I'm looking for all the numbers. I was actually looking for the numbers from October Mood last year. I know that there's a pile of them somewhere. I just can't find them. Oh, don't mind my 14 other projects I'm working on too. I'm working on Christmas cards, so the little bear up top is part of my Christmas cards. Let me know also if you'd like to see that. I probably will start recording once I get like exactly what I want. I'll probably do that. I do about 4 different sets of Christmas cards. Because we have about 20-ish people that we send out Christmas cards to that I'm willing to make hand cards for, I guess I should say. I send out Christmas cards to a lot more, but I'm not hand coloring, drawing, making Christmas cards to everybody on our Christmas card list. So, but I do make about 20 to 25-ish. We'll see how many we get this year. All right, so now that's 7. I use Stanley again for that. And here we go. Honestly, I love the way the new mug looks, but I should have went completely horizontal, so then I could have wrote my journaling underneath. It is what it is. It's not going to kill. It's not going to. It's just not going to. Even after I shut off the camera, I almost made like a stitch pattern around the edge of this, just because I was like, it feels off to me still. So who knows? We might go back and do something with this, but. All right, that is pretty much going to end this. We're just going to put this on the back side of Story 6, and we're day 7 into this thing. We're day 7 into this, which is almost a 1/3 into this project. You guys, I have no bulk in this, like, because I've been using 1 page on each side. For each story, I think I have 1 story that's a 2-page spread. I have like no bulk so far. So I have plans for a shaker card or a shaker page. I also will probably start doing some 2-page spreads, at least in Traveler's Notebook size. I don't know if I'll do 6x8 ones, but at least in the Traveler's Notebook size, I'll be doing some double-page spreads because I think I'll have room. I still don't believe that I'm going to get 31 stories done either, so... All right, guys, just trimming off the edges because that paper was a little bit too big. I forgot to cut it down to 8.25. I left it at 8.52 on accident, so that's why you see me cut it down before. And punching the holes. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am so excited that this project is still going on. I'm keeping up with it. If you've gotten this far, definitely put a little coffee mug in the comments below. I love seeing all the names pop up and the consistency of people watching. I will talk to you soon. Bye.